This person is wanted by the OSP to answer charges in respect of several cases, including the following. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, the fugitive's name is Kenneth Nanaya Oforiatta.
Asama bebium. Say Ghana, I did chinese until I said for Ghana. I did see a way in the name as a special prosecutor, OSP. Papa Kisi Jabin. Ready, I said better. Now, some better again, I saw declare somebody as fugitive, wanted, or say wanted fugitive. Is declaring somebody as fugitive. And the other one, who, what a fugitive person or criminal or whatever it is, maybe should be you. Na kasa na ọdara tu bịara ya me kwan dị anyị na ya nkọfụsụ gbe na akaka say emre ewo mi na all call for other some cases the Almighty National Cathedral no the abimu friend no NDC aban no the current majority no more friend no the biggest fool in Africa no and no one say I say, papa can go for that and Brana Ombeano. I say, SML, Strategic Management Limited. Also, our money, GIA contract, BFA is SML Ombeano. And Sana ECG contracts with Ombeano. A video, but the person may train one and say. Eba na say na afini sa OSP afini all this sa in same way eba abonti. And the question number 1, the video baby ya. Question number 2, OSP or maintaining office na and I say from time to time and I say mbepe mu mama president mama or bobodi obobidi ma kwese sa office no and I say na you replace it with oral and I see something which is the ebedi unkomo. At the same time, one thing I'm asking is, I didn't see a bino na never honor. And yet, I'm a bino na science and seminar fan. OSP declares on baby science and seminar. Na Mama Breba and I send this basui. This is Ken Oforiatta. But man, you can overwrite and I guess all honor. You ever talk about MPs near appointees near Brinan on any issue. You try baby and say, baby, I'll cost her fan of home and also. And at the same time, we about boom. You wish they were going to see, or the English video here by about cat here was to be brave. In some a total house in I.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, a few minutes ago, I signed a directive declaring a high-profile person a fugitive from justice. This person is wanted by the OSP to answer charges in respect of several cases, including the following. 1. Contractual arrangements between Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited and the Ghana Revenue Authority for the stated objective of the enhancement of revenue assurance in the downstream petroleum sector, upstream petroleum production, and minerals and metals resources value chain. 2. Termination of a distribution, loss reduction, and associated network improvement project contract between the Electricity Company of Ghana Limited and Beijing Xiaocheng Technology BXC. 3. Procurement of contractors and materials and activities and payments in respect of the National Cathedral project. 4. Activities and payments in respect of a contract awarded by the Ministry of Health, initially commenced by the Ministry for Special Development Initiatives to Service Ghana Auto Group Limited for purchases and after-sales service and maintenance of 307 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 305 CDI ambulances for the National Ambulance Service. And 5. Payments out of and utilization of the tax refund account of Ghana Revenue Authority. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, the fugitive's name is Kenneth Nanaya Oforiatta. Your intention to leave the jurisdiction indefinitely does not stop us from requiring your presence. You are a citizen of Ghana. You were a public officer. You were a finance minister for a very long time. And if you have decided to go away indefinitely, that is your personal decision. But when a law enforcement agency wants you physically in, you have to show up. You do not have a choice about it. You get me? So your travel arrangements, your travel plans, your travel habits have nothing to do with the law enforcement agency. But at the point where the law enforcement agency informs you that we need you physically, we need to see you for you to answer certain questions, you don't direct us to your lawyers and say, oh, whatever information that you want, your lawyers can provide for you. We are not investigating your lawyers. Your lawyers can't, and your lawyers were not the finance ministers. You were the finance minister, and it is your role as finance minister and the things that came about in respect of this investigation in your duty as finance minister. That is why we want to see you. Throwing us to your lawyers doesn't answer it. So if you have formed an intention to leave the jurisdiction before we contacted you, well, breaking news, a law enforcement agency wants you. Do you have a choice about it? You don't. Why is it that if the FBI declares someone wanted, we all go agog and it's used our purposes, for instance, in the US? Or is it because we watch so many movies and we've come to accept it? But when the OSP declares someone wanted, then it becomes something that perhaps we should push against. As I said, we sitting here have done all our checks, and everything shows to us that the man just doesn't want to show up. And that was communicated in the first letter. It was clear in there that he's gone indefinitely. It was when we pushed that you cannot just tell us that. Before things started cascading, then we started seeing the real intention. But your first intention of telling us that you are away indefinitely was what you intended to stick to. And corruption-related offenses in respect of the operations of the Minerals Income Investment Fund, MIF, especially regarding payments made in respect of Ejapa Royalties Limited, Small-Scale Mining Incubation Program, Quarry Value Addition Program, Asante Gold Corporation, Electrochem Ghana Limited, the Lithium Asset, that is Projected Lithium Focused Exploration and Development Corporation, Gold Asset 2, that is Enchi Gold Project, and all other investments by MIF, and funds expended on the chairman of the board of directors, the operational funds of MIF, purchase of parcel of land for intended office building, and all contracts and agreements entered into by MIF, and all publications, especially international publications by MIF. We are withholding the names of those under investigation for now, by targets 2 former officials and 2 serving officials of the fund. Third, the OSP has also commenced investigation into suspected corruption and corruption-related offenses in respect of an alleged embezzlement of 1.3 billion cedis from the Unified Petroleum Pricing Fund, UPPF, at the National Petroleum Authority, NPA. The investigation primarily targets the following persons: the coordinator of the UPPF, Mr. Jacob Amwa, NPA staff Frida Tando, NPA staff Wendy Ashon Newman, and the former chief executive of NPA, Mustafa Abdul Hamid. Lastly, it will be recalled that in the last quarter of 2023, the OSP and the Controller and Accountant General's Department jointly commenced corruption risk assessment and investigation into suspected corruption and corruption-related offenses in respect of government payroll administration. It is also recalled that the assessment and investigation are especially aimed at isolating and removing the names of non-existent, ineligible, and undeserving persons from government payroll, recovering wrongful payments and unearned salaries, prosecuting persons suspected to be culpable for any offenses, and the institution and implementation of internal controls in respect of payroll processing and payment of salaries. We further recall, as you do remember, that to facilitate the rollout of the investigation and assessment throughout the country, a pilot exercise was carried out in the northern region, covering educational institutions under Ghana Education Service and the Tamale Teaching Hospital, by a joint team comprising investigators, tracers, and assessors from the OSP and selected staff of the Payroll Processing Directorate of the Controller and Accountant General Department between December 2023 and April 2024. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, I'm glad to announce to you that after thorough investigation, the OSP is now ready to commence the prosecution of persons suspected to have engaged in such conduct. So earlier today, I directed the Director of Prosecutions at the OSP to file criminal charges at the High Court in Tamale against the following 6 persons. 1. Yakubu Tahidu, a former teacher at Balogu MA Junior High School, Yendi, in the Northern Region. 2. Abdullahi Abubakari Sadiq, an integrated personnel payroll database coordinator of the Ghana Education Service in Yendi, Northern Region. 3. Sami Suk, a schools improvement support officer for the Yendi North Circuit, Northern Region. Mohammed Yusuf J, the one-time headmaster of the Balogu MA Junior High School, Yendi, Northern Region. Stafford Kolete Azude Barris, an assistant chief accounts technician at the Controller and Accountant General Department, Accra, the Greater Accra Region. And Osman Isahaku, a one-time headmaster of Balogu MA Junior High School, Yendi, Northern Region. The main charges are corruption of a public officer and corruption by a public officer involving the manipulation and siphoning of funds designed as fictitious salaries from the government payroll. The identified persons would soon be arraigned before the High Court in Tamale. Thank you for coming.
Your keen interest in this, Mahama must not fail. Enti bibia SSA na ye di a contract no so with Ghana for no. Ye be near di ye bosha no so. Enunti ene matise we so start a friend is a special prosecutor so.
Yes.
But be away she be a ombekwa akofa number ama waba be yin. Kenu furata.
Eso yare.
Obeba.
Yare ampaso no.
Obeba. Wo mu nyina boni bia obi adi bia o meyi ne ho ano. Ube yi ho ano a o ye free.
Akoba.
Nti no accountability no ye be miamu kesi pa se ye mu bia ye so ye bia wonfa de same mra.
Ma ye fanche mo.
Mesi ye di sa mra ye bu mra no so amonche ye.
I see.